Phoenix Saturday Night Soccer is calling. Join Phoenix Rising on August 2nd at 7:30 p.m. as they take on Birmingham Legion in a can't-miss summer showdown. Enjoy the popular $4 3-for-3 menu with a $4 all-beef hot dog and $3 drink specials available all game long. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours now at phxrisingfc.com. Great food, great match, all for a great price.
How about we get some pizza?
Nah.
Sushi?
No.
I thought you didn't care.
I don't.
Slow cooked.
Tender.
Juicy.
How did they get in our car?
I don't know, but we're going to Del.
Del Taco's new slow cooked pork carnitas. Authentic spices and salsa roja give it a rich, deep, melt in your mouth flavor. Pork carnitas are here for a limited time, so get some tender, juicy Del Taco today.
Del, yeah.
Hello, everybody. Eric Bryan, owner of Precision Air and Plumbing. If you haven't noticed, the summer's here. The triple digits are settling in, and we know the heat isn't the only thing feeling heavy. Got a tight budget? That's why we're offering new AC units starting at just $99 a month. But that's not it. You could also get up to $3,000 in federal tax credits and rebates. It's never been a better time to upgrade. Beat the heat and budget the stress. Make the precision decision today. Call us at 602-FIX-MY-AC.
The precision decision with Precision Air.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
That'll be 30 even.
That's 90 points! Sorry, that was a lot. Now that I'm getting 3 times the points on food and fuel with the Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card, I get a little too hyped sometimes.
Cool. Would you like your receipt?
In the bag! Sorry, in the bag, please.
Learn more about the everyday, everywhere Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
The summertime deals are still heating up at Mark Kia. Right now, receive 0% APR for up to 60 months on a brand new 2025 Kia EV6.
That's right, 0%. The name to remember, Mark Kia, Mark Kia. This is a deal you've been waiting for. Offer through Kia Motors Finance. Offer expires August 4, 2025.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
Major League Baseball's All-Star festivities got off to a bumpy start last night. I was promised a Bradley Beal buyout. I still have not gotten my Bradley Beal buyout. That, and we continue to get you ready as the Major League Baseball trade deadline draws closer and closer. Welcome into this, the Tuesday edition of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours on the program. Producer Evan behind the glass taking your phone calls, 480-864-1060. If you want to join in on the program, you can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. This is one of the slower weeks in sports. A lot of hypotheticals, a lot of theoretical stuff that we'll discuss here today on the program, as there is no baseball to be played other than the All-Star Game festivities. We are still waiting a Bradley Beal buyout. We are still waiting for somebody to make the first major move of the MLB trade deadline. So it's a lot of waiting and seeing. Last night, it was a lot of waiting around and not a lot of seeing. That's where we'll start today's program.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Producer Evan, I don't want to be this guy today, but Major League Baseball screwed up last night. ESPN screwed up last night. I yesterday, in defense of Jacob Mizorowski's bid to be in the All-Star game, I called the All-Star game and all of the festivities surrounding the All-Star week as a showcase of the sport. That this is the sport putting their best foot forward, putting their best on display for all of us to see, to maybe, just maybe, grab that casual fan that's hopping around on social media or flipping through the channels on their television and they go, oh, the home run derby's on? Oh, I'll stop by. I'll check in for a second. I'll see some guys hit some home runs. And you know what you saw last night? You didn't see a lot of home runs being hit because Major League Baseball and ESPN should be ashamed of themselves for the production quality of last night's home run derby. Now, I said yesterday, was on record with this, home run derby, not really my thing, right? All-star festivities, all-star games in particular, have never really been something that I've gotten excited for. And especially now in this job, I kind of look at all-star weeks and these festivities as a kind of cheap way to take a break. Just have a couple days to mentally reset for the quote-unquote second half of the season. But okay, you convinced me yesterday. I decided, doing some stuff in my office last night, I'll throw on the home run derby. I'll put it on as some background noise. I'll watch O'Neal Cruz. I'll watch Cal Raleigh. I'll watch Matt Olson. I'll watch Jazz Chisholm. I'll watch all these guys hit home runs last night. I'll just put it on in the background. And you know what? As background noise while I'm doing other stuff, I'll enjoy it. Instead, I was glued to the television screen, not for what I could see, but for what I couldn't see. Because Major League Baseball made a pair of mistakes last night. ESPN made a pair of mistakes last night. Mistake number one was the overall presentation of the main broadcast. You couldn't see any of the home runs. I had Carl Ravish talk to me about, oh, look at where this one's landing, and I'm seeing a shot of the crowd where I can't see where the home run's going. Whose idea it was to have this split screen going last night. It didn't enhance the broadcast. I was more confused than anything else. That was mistake number one that MLB made last night. But mistake number two. Now, listen, I am chief among this group of people.
I'm a huge nerd.
Okay? I love numbers. I love analytics, stats, data, anything that can make me an informed baseball fan, that can allow me to make more informed baseball or sports decisions. I'm all for it. You can give me your OPS, you can give me your WAR, your WOBA, your batting, your exit velo, your batting average on balls in play. I'll take it all because, again,
I'm a huge nerd.
I love that stuff. I love it. I think it's actually good for the game. I think it makes for better decisions, and it is a part of sports and a part of baseball in particular that I have just grown to love and I have grown towards, and it's kind of become a part of who I am as a person. Anytime an advanced number comes up among my friend group, they text me to ask me what it is because they have a pretty good idea that I know what it is already. But last night, we had a tie for the fourth and final spot of who was going to move on to the second round. And instead of doing the smart, the more entertaining thing and have a swing off, have these guys just continue to mash home runs, we went to a tiebreaker. We went to a tiebreaker to like the 7th or 8th decimal point on how far Brent Rooker and Cal Raleigh hit their furthest home run. And somebody in Major League Baseball and then on ESPN decided, you know what would be good if we show it on the graphic of how close it was. Instead, you just made a fool of yourselves. See, this is where baseball gets in their own way. I love numbers. I want numbers to inform my decision. Guess what? This stuff doesn't matter. I don't need numbers. I need entertainment value. In a game that matters, in a game that's going to determine wins and losses and whether or not I go to the playoffs or I move on and I win a championship, yes, I want those to be extremely informed to the decimal point decisions. Something that is for entertainment purposes only, other than the prize pool that you get for winning it, doesn't actually matter. We don't need to go to the 10th, 100th, 1000th decimal points to determine who's going to move on and who's not. I thought overall a big whiff last night for Major League Baseball, a swing and a miss.
The camera angle is so bad. It was shocking. Like it comes on and they start. I was like, oh, this is just how they're going to start it. I can't imagine they'll keep the camera here. First ball gets hit, they go split screen. And I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna keep it like this. They're gonna keep it like this. And that made it almost unwatchable.
Oh, I had a friend who texted me at one point and said, I couldn't watch it. I turned it off. And then I had to text him because O'Neal Cruz was starting to put on a little bit of a show in his first round. And I texted that buddy and I said, I know, but you need to go back because O'Neal Cruz is starting to put on a little bit of a show. And he turned it back on, but it was borderline unwatchable.
It was really, really hard to watch. And listen, I think it's a great event typically, but I just think they did a lot wrong. And you're right. It should have been a swing off. It came down to 1/8 of an inch.
But who cares?
On how far a baseball was hit. And you're right. Who cares? Who cares?
It's entertainment. You're supposed to make everybody in the ballpark excited, entertained, make them walk back to their hotel or their homes happy that they went and spent the money and were at the ballpark for the home run derby. The people at home who sat down and devoted the time to watch it, because I watched the whole thing start to finish. I had the whole thing on the entire time. And then you go to a tiebreaker. Instead of just having a tiebreaker be, hey, you both get 5 swings. And if you're tied after 5 swings, now you get 4 swings. And you just go down. And then if it continues to be tied after that, what's the worst thing that happens? You've created this incredible moment of these two, Brent Rooker and Cal Raleigh, 2 stars that, let's face it, everybody, not everybody is keeping up to tabs with what's going on in Sacramento and what's going on in Seattle. So 2 players that could benefit from the stage, that could benefit from the opportunity to showcase their power and showcase their skills. And if they went through 4, 5, 6 rounds of a swing off and a tiebreaker and they were still tied, do you know how great that would be for the game? See, this is where baseball just puts up barricades in their own way. They self-inflicted that damage last night. ESPN hurt baseball last night by their choice to broadcast the home run derby the way that they did. And then baseball chose to get in their own way by not having a swing off, by not having a tiebreaker that wasn't who hit the longest home run. Also, that data, and a bunch of...
I'm a huge nerd.
On Twitter, we're talking about this. That data that they used, the TrackMan data to determine those home runs, is not that accurate. It can't be that accurate. There is a margin of error that should not be used for a tiebreaker. So even if you were trying to be extremely fair and use it as a tiebreaker, that data is not supposed to be used that way.
Yeah, it's not 20 feet. It's not a 500-foot home run compared to a 480-foot home run. It comes down to 1/8 of an inch on a machine that has a margin of error. The other thing I will tell you is it was good to see Cal Raleigh win it. Like, very rarely do you see the actual leader in home runs win the thing? But I am a little tired. Like, you are a bigger numbers guy than I am. I'm a huge nerd. No doubt about it. You love the numbers of it. You love looking under the hood. And I think there's a ton of value in it.
We did it a couple times during the morning meeting today.
But a guy like O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah.
Like, he is a StatCast merchant. Like, he is the darling of the StatCast era.
Yeah, you look under the hood, you look at all the advanced numbers in today's game, and it would tell you that O'Neal Cruz should be an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't stand that a little.
Well,
like, he is perfect for the home run derby because he hits the ball hard and everything like that. When you strike out 40% of the time, you're not good.
But O'Neal Cruz's performance in the home run derby last night is a great storyline because he screwed up the strategy.
Yeah,
and by the way, the rules of 40 pitches or whatever the time frame is, and then at one point I thought, well, if you hit the ball off of the chop house, it should count for 5 more home runs. There's just too many rules. There's too much going on.
I like the outs at the end.
The bonus outs are great.
You know what that reminded me of? Oh my gosh, they had this thing perfected with outs.
So if you didn't want the 10 outs and you wanted to do away with that, you went to the time format. You didn't like that. Now you're trying to push the 2 together.
Them.
Why can't it just be you get 40 pitches? You get 40 pitches, swing or not. Like, if you take a pitch, that counts as one against you. You get 40 total throws. No time limit, 40 total throws, and then you get the bonus outs.
I do think the taking adds to some strategy.
Sure, but then you have
I think you need it almost in there.
But when you also have the time, O'Neal Cruz didn't strategize correctly, and he ended his round with, what was it, 5 or 6 pitches left in the holster that they didn't get to throw? That's just missed chances to drive up his number. So he didn't play the strategy well. He did put on a show. I mean, he hit some absolute tanks.
And then I think it was the round right before him, or the batter right before him was Cal Raleigh, who had like 20 seconds left with 2 pitches and took his time and like could really looking for something and was able to slow it down instead of going, it's almost get out in front early.
And I loved the story of Cal Raleigh, home run leader in baseball, home run leader in the American League, potential MVP candidate. His dad's out there throwing to him on the mound. He's got his brother catching behind the plate.
That was awesome.
Cool. Great. Highlight those things, right? Those things should be important. Those are the takeaways that we should have. Instead, we are debating. And again, it's the All-Star game. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, but it's a Tuesday during MLB All-Star week. There's not a whole lot else for us to really lead off the show with. And it was the thing we all watched together last night, because I do think the home run derby in particular is the one skills competition still left in the big 4 sports that draws in the casual fan. And when you draw in the casual fan and you screw it up, as the only person who screwed up more last night was Jazz Chisholm.
Baseball has a opportunity of where they have the All-Star game. And I mean that just because, like, there's nothing going on other than the MLB All-Star game.
Correct.
When you have other sports like the NBA All-Star game, the NHL All-Star game, there are other things happening on that Sunday. There's nothing happening last night.
Absolutely nothing happening.
And so you draw in the casual fan to watch the home run derby. 1, because everybody loves the long ball. And 2, because, let's face it, there's nothing else to watch. It's your opportunity to get people back in on the season in the second half. And I thought last night they missed it.
I think they missed it. Good that Cal Raleigh won. I think that's kind of what saves them a little bit, because the guy that everybody was excited to see showed up and performed. I mean, how many times do we have those storylines of getting excited about somebody and they go and they lay a goose egg, right?
Ohtani was really bad in his, right?
So for Cal Raleigh to show up and to do it from both sides of the plate, and that strategy decision on what side he wants to hit from, that was fun. It wasn't all bad. There was some fun moments throughout the course of the home run derby last night. It just felt like a missed chance because of 2 self-inflicted wounds. The broadcast was one. You couldn't see. Like, I'm watching from the angle from behind the thrower, right? The pitcher. And you're seeing the ball and it's looking like a great swing, but I have no idea. I have no idea if it's going to go 5 feet up that wall out there in right field, or if it's going to clear and go into the chop house like a bunch of them did last night. I don't know, because your angles stunk.
And for the right-handed hitter, by the way, awesome to see Junior Caminero do as well as he did. Get some recognition there, because he is a fun watch and only 22 years old. But that left field wall in Atlanta is like a foot tall,
right,
once you get into the corner. And so it's hard to tell, like, line drive down the line, is that going to go?
Because you just don't know. And after a couple, you're like, okay, I know that those could potentially clear, so give me a good angle. No, I'm getting angles of the people in the crowd, or the camera's all the way up in the sky, and I have no idea perception. Like, guess what? When you watch a regular baseball game and somebody swings and it looks like a home run swing, all 30 baseball broadcasts give you the depth perception where you know if it's going to go out or not. Why, in the thing that's supposed to be for that, we screw it up so badly?
My question is, why not, even if they want to try it and they thought that was the better, don't you watch the first one and go, okay, let's go back to how we typically do it? It didn't work.
Right. And I don't think this is a new thing. I think they had this angle last year.
Really?
They've had this angle in the past where they've done these split screens, and it's hard. I don't know if something's a home run or not in the thing that's supposed to be about whether or not stuff is a home run or not. I'm there to see guys either hit home runs or make loud outs. If I don't know if they've hit a home run or made a loud out, it's kind of defeating the purpose. So, All-Star game tonight in Major League Baseball. Jacob Mizorowski going to be a part of it. I know that bothers producer Evan, but he's going to be there. The red carpet stuff has already begun down in Atlanta ahead of the game tonight.
You like the red carpet?
Well, no, I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying I'm seeing it on social media that it's happening already. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also stop by over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. You can watch the show over there as well. John says, how does a casual fan see the screw up? I think it's a great question. What is the casual fan reaction to the home run derby last night? If you are a casual baseball fan, maybe you like the Suns in basketball more, you like the Cardinals in football more, would love to hear from you on a day like today if you tuned in and watched the home run derby last night. What was your takeaway? How did it make you feel? I'm a diehard baseball fan, so maybe I'm too close to it. Producer Evan, diehard baseball fan, a little too close to it. For those of us who love the game of baseball, we may be a little too close to it, and we get more upset about these things because we want the game to grow. So we'd love to hear from a casual fan who maybe tuned in last night and what they thought of it. When we come back, I was promised a Bradley Beal buyout. Where is my Bradley Beal buyout? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The Mazda More to Move You sales event is going on now at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, receive 1.9% financing for up to 60 months on the brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 or CX-50 Hybrid.
Or receive $10,000 off the top of MSRP when you lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-70 or CX-90 plug-in hybrid. Think of how low your payment will be with those savings. Go to markmazdascottsdale.com.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda on approved credit plus $998 doc fee.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new off-the-rails tour. Gravity-defying thrill seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th. Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Hey, it's Big Cat from the Pardon My Take podcast. If you're looking for a drink that keeps the fun going without weighing you down, pick up some Truly Hard Seltzer. It's crazy refreshing, comes in tons of different flavors, and has only 100 calories per serving. Truly makes it easy to keep the fun going with your crew, which is exactly why it's the official hard seltzer of Pardon My Take. Whether you're out with friends, hosting a game day at home, or just kicking back, grab a Truly Hard Seltzer. Pick it up at your local Total Wine, Walmart, or Circle K, because there's always a lot of party left, Phoenix.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Back from a 2-week vacation. I could hit any number of things that I've been thinking about, but I'm going to go with the topical. I'm going to go with the drama. The 49ers drama, specifically more wide receiver drama. Last year at this time, it was Brandon Ayuk. Today, it's Jawan Jennings, who reportedly has told Niner management he wants a new deal or a trade. Of course, the Niners don't have to do either, and they don't want to do either, but it says here they should take care of this dude, even if they think they already did when they extended him. He's still an absolute bargain to them at $7.5 million this year, and because they already dealt Deebo Samuel and Ayuk is a question mark coming off a knee injury, they need Jennings, need him on the field, and need him right in his own dome. And $250 million QB Brock Purdy needs him. The Niners might not want to cave here, but if they're smart, they will. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on the gram at Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, tools, home essentials, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through July 18th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Still waiting for a Bradley Beal buyout. A lot of reporting that it was going to get done last week. Here we are Tuesday of the following week, and he is still a member of the Phoenix Suns. Now, I don't think I'm ready to say that I am worried that this still hasn't gotten done. I still think the expectation should be that it will get done. I do understand maybe being a little concerned or having a growing concern with each day that passes because we were supposed to have this by now, but this makes sense for both parties. At this stage, Bradley Beal knows the Phoenix Suns do not want him anywhere near their franchise in 2025 and in 2026. And he knows that the best chance for his career to continue and for him to potentially win a championship is to go someplace else. And the Suns have already swallowed the tough pill by choosing to go down this path to waive and stretch him over the next 5 years, if that's how the buyout is ultimately structured, which it will be based on the numbers that we're hearing that he's going to give back. And when you get pieces of information that make you understand why this is taking as long as it is, it allows at least me to not worry as much that it hasn't happened yet. Because Mark Stein reported over the weekend that there was a 25% advanced payment due of Bradley Beal's salary for the upcoming season. And that money is due today. In fact, should probably already have hit Bradley Beal's bank account, that 25% advance payment. And so if he agrees to a buyout before today's date, before that 25% gets deposited into his bank account, well, he's altered the terms of his contract, and now he's no longer entitled to that 25% today. Now, he's still entitled to all of that money as per the terms of the buyout, whatever they agree to. So he still will see that money. It's just the timing of that money that changes. And listen, when I make a ton of money, if I make Bradley Beal $50+ million and 25% of it is due all in one chunk on a certain day, I may wait for that certain day to make sure I get that money. And then, yeah, I'll play nice in the sandbox and I'll agree to your buyout because I got what I needed out of this deal. I got my 25%. And now, since that has already happened, we can alter the contract and I don't lose out on that. Just one final kind of just move on the chessboard by Bradley Beal to the Phoenix Suns to show to them, I'm in control of this game. I'm the one that's got control of the board here. My pieces are in a better spot than yours are. You are beholden to me in this. It is my timeline. It is my decision. I have to agree to the buyout, just like I would have had to agree to a trade last February. I had the no trade clause. So I don't have a worry that this is all of a sudden going to have an about face and Bradley Beal is going to be on this team next season. I think all of us keeping tabs on this every single day, it just comes down to one truth about this offseason for the Phoenix Suns. None of us are really going to truly feel that the Suns have crossed over into their next chapter, their next era, until both Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal are off this roster. Half of that has been accomplished with the KD to Houston trade. The other half we're still waiting on. And so it feels like we're in a little bit of a limbo. We're still waiting to usher in. Doesn't it feel like the team doesn't really have a new head coach in Jordan Knott? The team doesn't really have a new general manager in Brian Gregory. The team doesn't really have a new roster with all this young talent. We know it's all true. We know they hired Jordan Knott. We know Brian Gregory's the new GM. We've watched them operate in the draft. We've watched them put together a roster for Summer League. We've seen all of those things. It just doesn't feel real yet until both Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal are off this roster.
It feels like you're kind of stuck in the middle of a bridge. You haven't quite crossed it yet.
Yep.
And you need to get on the other side. And once you dump Bradley Beal and you can get through that buyout, you're on the other side of the bridge. It's a completely new regime or side of the cliff that you're on. And I know the regime isn't completely new. Brian Gregory's an internal hire and everything like that, but it's new names. It's new names, and the roster is pretty different. So you need to get to the other side, and you can't do that dragging Bradley Beal there.
No, and it just won't feel like you've moved on, right? You break up with a girlfriend, you still have some stuff at her place. Until you get all of that stuff back, until you've moved all that stuff into a new place, there's still that attachment. You're still not technically done yet. Bills you got to change names on. You had a lease. Until that lease is over with that person, until you can completely wash your hands and say, they've moved on, I've moved on. Until that stuff happens, you're still connected. And so until the Suns have that clean break from Kevin Durant and that clean break from Bradley Beal, they are still tethered to the failures of that era of Suns basketball. And it just feels like there's going to be this aha moment that once that happens, everybody's going to be like, okay, now we're in a new era of Suns basketball. Now Jordan Knott is really the head coach of this team. Now Brian Gregory is really the GM of this team. Now this is back to being Devin Booker's roster. Jalen Green being on this team is now real. All of it becomes more real the moment this move happens, because all of us, listen, we're all
the alignment,
trying to be aligned, right? They want to move us forward. They said that. New direction, new chapter, moving forward. Matt Ishbia has said it. Brian Gregory has said it. Jordan Knott has said it. Focusing on the future, focusing on the present and the future, and moving this team in the right direction. We keep looking backwards. We keep looking over our shoulder because Bradley Beal is still here. You can't fully focus towards the future yet. You can say it. Some of your actions are moving us in that direction, but we all keep looking over our shoulder. That's the problem. We need to get ourselves in a place where we're not worried about what's behind us. We're not worried about looking backwards. We are truly moving forward.
Clear the rear view, right? Clear the rear view mirror.
Right.
And now you got somebody following you.
And right now, this team, this organization can't do that. They will. It may happen today. It may happen tomorrow. It may happen this week. It may happen next week. It's going to happen. I feel like a lot of my Suns predictions this offseason.
Yeah, you've been right. And listen, there have been people in the YouTube chat that have been doubting some of your Suns predictions. But so far, so good. I did, Now,
just to be clear, I didn't go out on a limb by saying that Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal weren't going to be on this team next year.
Both feet on the ground, stand by what I said.
We just had a lot of pushback from some P1s, some diehard listeners who thought that both or at least one of those guys was going to be on this roster opening night. And I've been very committed to the idea that, no, they are going to have this clean break because they want to move forward, because they don't want to keep looking backwards. So,
I do want to take my moment here. I did call the Malawatch pick.
Right. A good offseason for us across the board.
It was.
A good offseason for us across the board when it comes to the Phoenix Suns. Yes. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. When we come back, we know that they're going to be sellers at the deadline. At least we think we know they're going to be sellers at the deadline. So what would classify as a successful one? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
The legacy continues. Pantera. The heaviest tour of the summer. Tearing up Talking Sick Resort Amphitheater, August 26th. With Amon Amarth. On sale now at LiveNation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're shopping for an engagement ring, we want you to feel like a kid in a candy store. All of our diamonds are in stock, in-store and online, so you get to use your eyes, not your imagination. Come in and look at marquee-shaped diamonds right next to ovals and pears. As your friend and jeweler, you can trust you'll get your dream diamond at an everyday competitive price. We have the widest selection in-store and at shaneco.com because a friend knows choosing a diamond is personal. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Geico knows there's a home you and a road you. Right now you're hearing home you. He's not in an RV. He's at home, watching the great outdoors on TV.
For the lone gazelle, there sadly is no escape.
Meanwhile, road you always has an escape in an RV covered with Geico's added 24/7 emergency roadside service, so he can explore more of the great outdoors in real life. Except maybe the ravine where the gazelle got stuck. Road you should avoid that. For more road you time, get more with Geico.
Summer Playfest has arrived at Harris Auction Casino. This summer, win your share of $600,000 in prizes with Caesars Rewards. Plus, join us as live bands light up the stage all season long. Then stay and play for less with our buy one, get one half off hotel rates. So stay, play, and get rewarded all summer during Summer Playfest. Only at Harris Auction Casino. Play for all. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Visit the Caesars Rewards Center for details.
Every summer, across the valley, hundreds of our homeless neighbors die because of the heat. This is tragic, and it is preventable. None of us can stop the heat, but together we can save lives. With incredible partners like you, Phoenix Rescue Mission is able to provide life-saving water and critical care to our neighbors in need. Join us this summer and make a difference. Learn more at phoenixrescuemission.org/code red.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Those of us here on this program believe that the Arizona Diamondbacks will be sellers at the deadline. We've believed it for a couple of weeks now, that this team is firmly in the camp of needing to sell ahead of the 2025 deadline. They have not been able to make up the ground and show enough to warrant maybe holding off for a little bit, maybe trying to see if this team can make a run in August and September. That is the position of this program. The Arizona Diamondbacks need to be sellers ahead of this deadline. So with that being our North Star, what would allow us to classify this deadline coming up in 16 days from now as a successful one for the Arizona Diamondbacks? Is it a certain number of players that are brought back? Is it certain positions that are checked off the checklist? Is it a philosophical success, meaning that it just looks like it's going in the right direction? What is it that marks this as a successful deadline? Yesterday, we said Mike Hazen needs to meet the moment. As an executive, as a manager, as a coach, working in sports, not every day is like this, but there are some tentpole moments where you have to show up in a big way. You want to be classified as one of the best executives, one of the best GMs. You want to be put in the bucket as the great of greats when it comes to coaching or managing. There are certain times where you have to meet the moment. Yesterday, we outlined why this is a moment that needs to be met by Mike Hazen. And meeting that moment for me is not landing 3 or 4 top 100 prospects. It's not landing a certain number of a team's top 10 prospects when they move Eugenio Suarez, or if they trade Zach Gallen, or in a Josh Naylor trade. It is not the specific information about the position that the player plays or them being a top 5 prospect in a farm system. That stuff is important. That stuff is going to matter. But what is going to define for me whether or not Mike Hazen met this moment and whether or not this is a successful offseason for the Arizona Diamondbacks comes down to one specific North Star. When we do the next show after the trade deadline, Producer Evan, July 31st, the trade deadline. What day of the week is that? I can't say that I've looked that far into my future. I barely know what the date is for tomorrow, let alone what day of the week the 31st is. I could probably do the math, but
it's Thursday.
So we will have a show on Friday after the trade deadline. We will get off the air on Thursday just as the trade deadline is ending. So we'll get 24 hours to think about it. We'll let our heads hit the pillow. We'll get a good night's rest. And then we'll wake up potentially with the same opinion, but a more composed opinion about what the Diamondbacks did at the deadline. And we will come in here that Friday, at least I will, and define this as a successful deadline if Mike Hazen makes me feel on that Friday that the Diamondbacks are well suited to compete in 2026, that they got back the prospects that are close enough to contributing at the big league level where I can sit here and forecast a world where the core that remains can contribute, the young players that they both have in their system and that will acquire into their system will be able to contribute, and a free agency move here or a free agency move there can put this team right back in a position. You cannot go into next offseason. If you trade Eugenio Suarez, if you trade Josh Naylor, if you trade one pitcher, if you trade an outfielder, we'll get to that in hour number 2 of the program, you could walk in to next offseason needing a first baseman, needing a third baseman, potentially. I'm not giving up, just saying potentially. A first baseman, a third baseman, an outfielder, 3 starters, a completely brand new bullpen, right? That's the laundry list. That's what the Diamondbacks the grocery list. That's what they would need to go and shop for, right? No organization can do all of that in one offseason. It's impossible. So to me, a successful offseason is getting a successful trade deadline is getting a jump on those things. You get through this deadline, okay, our starting third baseman next year, Jordan Lawler. We got back a prospect that we think could be our starting first baseman next year, or we have a prospect in the minor league system that's going to be ready in 2026 to be our first baseman. We got back a starter that's close to the big league level that could be a part of our second half of the year rotation so he can get some big league innings and then is ready to be a mainstay in our rotation in 2026. See, there are a lot of people out there that are punting on 2026. A lot of people saying that the next time this team's really, truly going to be able to contribute is 2027. And I am not willing to accept that. I am not willing to accept that in this marketplace when I think if they trade Eugenio Suarez, if they trade Josh Naylor, if they trade one of their pitchers, if they choose to trade an outfielder or two, I think they can reposition themselves. It's going to look different. It's going to feel different. It's going to be a younger, more inexperienced group. There's going to be some growing pains. But I believe that they can put together a roster in 2026 that maybe on paper isn't as talented as the 2025 group, but a group that could be in the mix for a wild card spot. That is how I will define a successful offseason. If Mike Hazen gets back a bunch of prospects that aren't going to be ready until 2027 or 2028, and I can't put together the pieces of the puzzle to field a competitive roster without doing a whole lot in the offseason, then it's not as successful. I am not willing to kick the can down the road on 2026. I am not ready to give up on 2026. Why? Because they can make 2026 matter by admitting 2025 didn't work, admitting that we need to shed some salary, admitting that we can retool this thing on the fly. There's going to be some people that are upset, but we're going to trade Naylor. We're going to trade Suarez. We're going to trade a pitcher. We're going to get back some pieces, and we're going to be a younger group, but we're going to have players that are really talented on this roster in 2026. We are not going to punt on 2026. Could it be a bit of a transitional year? Sure. But a competitive year? Absolutely. That to me is successful. That to me is Mike Hazen met the moment for the squad.
You have to set yourself up for next year, the year after that. Understand you have a core that's ready to win now. You have 4 to 5 guys that are ready to win now. And listen, you're going to get reinforcements at the end of 2026. I know that's a hard thing to understand because they're coming back from Tommy John. But in a year's time, they might be getting some serious reinforcements.
If they have some young position players in their system that could contribute by 2027, but they also have some holes that they can fill for 2026. So put yourself in a position to where 2026 is not a lost year. Is it going to carry the expectations of 2024, 2025? No, absolutely not. 2025, this team had deep NL playoff run aspirations. Those are not the expectations that we're going to put on next season. But can you be competitive? Can you be a team that is in a position to buy at the deadline? You're telling me that the Arizona Diamondbacks can't put themselves in a position to be the St. Louis Cardinals of this year? Look at where the Cardinals are in the standings. Nobody thought that team was going to be a buyer at the deadline. They were trying to trade Nolan Arenado in the offseason. They lost Paul Goldschmidt in free agency. This team is in the middle of a playoff race. Probably going to be a buyer at the deadline. You're telling me that the Arizona Diamondbacks, by getting a jump start on their offseason with this trade deadline, getting some pieces that are close, getting some pieces that will contribute in 2026, and then attacking the little needs here and there in the offseason, they can't field a roster that is the St. Louis Cardinals of this year? I'm not willing to give up on years of baseball fandom the way some other people are. I'm not willing to say, oh, it's just trade the farm, get rid of everybody. 2027 is the year. Listen, if they call about Ketel Marte, I am not willing to accept that as a fate. Do not give up on 2026 before we even get there. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, producer Evan provides the hottest takes in sports talk radio. It is buy or sell. We'll do it next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Hey listeners, it's Vince DeLisio with the Varsity Sports Show. Saturday, we kick off our fall sports preview as we'll be out at Queen Creek High School. You'll meet Bulldogs principal Scott Lovely, then chat with coaches from football, volleyball, pom and cheer, flag, swimming, golf, strength and conditioning, cross country, badminton, and more. The Varsity Sports Show, Saturday morning, 9 to 11 on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Prepare for the Maximum Fun Tour. A day to remember. Yellow card.
Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, Saturday, October 25th. It's like special guests, the Wonder Years, and Dinosaur Pile-Up. Tickets from $30 on sale now at livenation.com. A day to remember. Yellow Card, part of the American First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler here at Shane Company. Come on in, feel at home, and let's find your dream engagement ring. I'm proud to work for a company that puts customers first and lets them shop the way they want to. See, we believe shopping for an engagement ring should be fun without any of the pressure. We don't work on commission, so finding your dream ring is truly on your terms. We'll be right by your side as your friend and jeweler to help you find a ring more beautiful than you imagined and stick to your budget too. We have all of the styles and all of the smiles. You can even watch our in-house jewelers working their magic inside your neighborhood store. It's that kind of care and craftsmanship that makes Shane Company's free lifetime warranty the best in the business, saving you thousands over time and giving you peace of mind. No appointment necessary, or check us out at shaneco.com. Because a friend knows when you're ready, you're ready. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, wrapping up hour number 1 of the program. Appreciate you being here. It's time for the hottest takes in all of sports talk radio. Not a claim that we can back up with science, but a claim nonetheless.
I do love you hyped me up last week on buy or sell, and I've been loving it. I don't know if I've been backing it up. Hopefully I have.
I think you've been doing a fine job. But yeah, you're the producer of the program. You chime in a bunch. You've got 2 segments that are entirely up to you. So yeah, we're gonna promote you and compliment you when it is required.
Well, I appreciate that. So yesterday we had 4 due to the time crunch. Went 3-1.
I gotta say we're
bought 3. We're not going much faster.
Well, I was just gonna say we're under a better time crunch, but not that much better.
Bought 3, sold 1, 3-1 on the week. The Cardinals need to be able to regularly scheme Marvin Harrison open if they want to have more success in the passing game this year.
Of course. And not because that I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the only key to the Cardinals offense. He's very important. I think he's more of the wide receiver 2 to Trey McBride is the wide receiver 1. We talked about that last week. But this is a confidence thing for him. But this is a confidence thing for Drew Petzing. If he's able to scheme Marvin Harrison Jr. open and they have success, how much of your offensive identity, your offensive success rate is confidence-based? You're willing to go to a play call because you're just a confident play caller. If you are a team that's struggling to score points, you're struggling to get guys open, you may not take that risk. That's the big play, right? I'll give you the perfect example. Would Ben Johnson, because I saw this clip on social media, furthering my point that I don't need to watch the quarterback show to see the important stuff from it. I saw the clip on social media from the quarterback show of Jared Goff explaining the fake fumble play. Would Ben Johnson have called that play if, as an offense, they averaged 17 points a game and they couldn't do anything offensively? No. You only call that play because you're confident as a play caller. You're confident in your team's ability. You're confident in how you're executing. You throw in that little wrinkle during practice, right? So scheming Marvin Harrison Jr. open and having that success is a confidence thing for the entire offense and for specifically the play caller. Bye.
I think it only gets the receiver, the play caller, and the quarterback all in a better headspace.
And that's going to make the entire offense look so much better this season.
Buda Baker is a top 5 safety in the league.
Is there a reason you're bringing this up?
Yes. So we talked about the story of ranking the top 10 quarterbacks.
Yes.
Buda Baker found himself in ESPN's list on safeties
Okay.
at the 8th position.
The names in front of him.
The names in front of him are as follows.
Because this will determine whether or not I think he's top 5. We got to do the thing, and we have to go through the list and determine whether or not he should be moved up. My gut reaction is he should be higher than 8, but I'll let the names speak
Number
for
1,
themselves.
Kyle Hamilton.
Okay, that's, yeah.
Number 2, Brian Branch.
Yeah.
Number 3, Xavier McKinney.
Okay, I have 3 for 3 so far.
Number 4, Jesse Bates.
I like Jesse Bates a lot when he left Cincinnati. So.
Number 5, Kirby Joseph. Number 6, Derwin James.
He's better.
Number 7, Antoine Winfield Jr. Number 8, Buda Baker.
You know what I realized from this list?
A lot of good safeties.
A lot of good safeties playing in the National Football League. It's
Yes.
not until you do exercises like this that you are reminded of the pure safety talent. My gut said top 5, but I don't know. That's a great list.
That is, gosh, sitting here right now, there's only one name I think I would put him over.
Would you put him in front of Derwin James?
I think that's it.
Because of the injuries?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, but that puts him at 7.
Yeah.
I can't move him a whole lot more. I'm not taking Kyle Hamilton out of the number 1 spot.
No.
Brian Branch at number 2 is excellent. Kirby Joseph, kind of forgot about him when you were going through the list. I mean, there's a lot of great names on this list. Safety position loaded going into 2025. I will sell, though, not top 5.
All right, one by one, sell today. D-backs need to get at least one top 100 prospect to be considered a winner at the deadline.
No, and this goes back to what I was just saying. I don't think we should determine the success rate of Mike Hazen at this trade deadline based on how many top 100 prospects he'll be able to swing. Do I think? Because here's the problem. The New York Yankees have a lot of great prospects. They have one top 100 prospect. Yeah. It's George Lombard Jr. They're not getting George Lombard Jr. from the Yankees.
No.
So if they don't get a top 100 prospect from the Yankees, does that mean it is a bad trade? No. So we have said that we think they could land some top 100 prospects, but it does kind of depend on which teams you're talking to, right? That kind of impacts it. So I am going to define a successful trade deadline for the Diamondbacks. Did they move themselves in a position to where I don't think 2026 is a lost season? Where I think based on the moves Mike Hazen is making, he is sending a signal to all of us. 2026, we're back. That's going to define success or not a success in my mind.
All right, I got 2 fun ones for you to finish.
Cool.
We're going to start with
I would argue they're all fun, by the way.
Thank you. Best and worst. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers' new throwback jersey is the best in football.
The creamsicles.
Yeah, but did you see the ones today? The
No,
white
hold
creamsicles?
on. Search on
You didn't see these?
No, hold on. Search on social media. Tampa Bay Bucks. We'll just type it in here. Somebody will have tweeted it, and I'll be able to see it. Now, I did see the Chargers one, so I know those are coming up next more than likely. Latest social media, can you just give me the pictures, please? Oh, these are very good. Are these the ones?
Those are the ones.
Oh, those are very nice. I love Baker in those jerseys.
Yep.
Mike Evans with the trophies behind him. Best, they're pretty good. Those are pretty good. Yeah. I haven't seen any that are better so far, so I'll go with those. Those are really good.
And you're going to hate this last one. You're going to sell this one.
Yeah, so you can just mark me down for it. You're going to tell me that the Chargers yellows or golds, whatever they are, that they released today are bad. And I'm going to tell you that you're wrong.
No, the Chargers yellow jerseys they released today are the worst in football.
Oh, yeah, so then, yes, sell. No, no. The worst jerseys in all of football are and no offense if there are any Green Bay Packer fans listening.
Oh, my God. You're not going to say that.
The Acme Packing Company jerseys, those are terrible.
The what? Like the ones with the circle?
The old school, the dark blue with the tan.
I've never heard somebody refer to them that way.
That's what they are.
What are they?
The Acme Packing Company.
Oh.
That's the history of the Green Bay Packers. That's what. That's the Green Bay Packers Packing Company.
I get it.
You understand now?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, no, those are bad. The Bumblebee Steelers, they're bad. But the Chargers,
you know what? I retract my statement. The Bumblebee Steelers ones are worse.
But the Chargers went out there and they topped it all, including the second worst jersey in all of sports, which is the Seattle lime green one. That one is horrible.
I don't hate those. Those aren't great, though.
Or whatever the Falcons wear that isn't throwbacks every week. They need real jerseys. The Falcons look like a high school team.
You have some very strong jersey takes here.
I do, yeah. Because if you don't look good out there, it's hard to be like, I'm going to root for the Falcons when they're wearing a jersey. It's terrible. Like, remember when the Rams were lost there for a while? They would wear like the current whites and then the throwback blues.
They had to They had to get back a little bit. They had to get back in form. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2 right around the corner. Appreciate you joining us here today on the program. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
When you get hurt, you don't want to end up on the injured list. You want to get back in the game stronger than ever. At Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, we fight for you, making sure big insurance doesn't throw you a curveball. With over $25 billion recovered, we're the home run hitters you need.
This is way out there and gone.
Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Proud sponsor of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hosier presents the Unreal Unearthed Tour 2025, live in Phoenix. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, October 7th. With special guest, Amble. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The #1 album, Unreal Unearthed, is available everywhere. For more, visit hosier.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know it's not just a car, it also drives your children's dreams. So whether you're going to soccer practice, robotics club, or opening night in the school play, we help protect those dreams. Save up to 23% when you bundle auto and home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Nationwide Vision, we make the back-to-school season crystal clear for you and your kids. With convenient scheduling and personalized treatment plans for the whole family, we keep things simple and stress-free, so your kids can face the day with confidence. Because vision shapes learning, and learning shapes life. Get 50% off a complete pair, and give your family the clarity to thrive in every part of their journey. Schedule an appointment today to find your focus at Nationwide Vision.
With Whataburger's new Bigger Better Bundles, you can upgrade your favorite Whata meal into 2 meals. You can add a kids' Whata meal for $4 and take it home to your little you. Or you can add a double meat junior Whata meal for $5 and save it for later. For you. Or you can add a Whata Wings 9-piece for $6 and just enjoy that now. Yep, with Bigger Better Bundles, you can bring the kids along. Or give it to your Uncle Mo. Or stop by and surprise your coworkers. Upgrade your Whata meal with Bigger Better Bundles for a limited time. Only at What Up Burger.
This fall, choose Primavera Online, and you'll be choosing a school with flexibility, personalized support, and an award-winning curriculum that's over 20 years strong. Now enrolling grades K-12 at chooseprimavera.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
12 o'clock hour, the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. And make sure you download the KDUS AM 1060 app. Take us with you on the go. I do want to dive back into some sports here, specifically the Phoenix Suns here in just a second. But I have a bit of a dilemma, and I consider this program, producer Evan, all of you listening out there, kind of my second family, and so I need some advice. I'm embarking on a journey this year, and I'm running out of time to do so. I'm trying to run some type of marathon this year. Not a full marathon. I do not believe I'm going to be able to train properly for that.
So half?
Half.
Love it.
Now, a 5K. Less than a half marathon? More? I don't know how the math works.
Yeah, 5K is 3.3 miles.
So, okay, if I did a 5K, I would say that I've accomplished my goal for the year of running something. So I needed help. So I downloaded this app that is supposed to help me like train for these things. And I'm supposed to do my first run today.
And what's the app called? I think I know exactly the one you have.
It's called Runna, RUNNA.
Yeah. So my roommate used that last year.
Okay. How'd it go for
he
him?
loved it.
Great.
He loved it. Now his fantasy punishment was he had to run a 5K in Timberland boots.
That's a great fantasy punishment. That is a great fantasy football punishment.
So that was why he used that. But yeah, he loved it. He still uses it to this day.
So I'm doing this training. So this is week 1 of my training. And I have my first run scheduled for today. It's 25 to 30 minutes. I'm only doing 1.4 miles. I'm walking part of it. I'm running part of it. It's kind of getting your body into the running mode, right? I was thinking about doing it this morning, waking up early. I did not do that. So now I'm at a bit of a crossroads.
You have to wait till the sun goes down.
Okay. So I should do this at like 8, 9 o'clock at night. Now, today is also my daughter's birthday. So we've got some festivities planned after the show today. We do have softball practice. Then we're going to dinner. So I'm probably not going to get home until 8:30, 9 o'clock at the earliest anyway. So you think...
Now it's way tougher.
You think I should be doing this at 9:30 tonight?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to kick this into the next day. Because then
you don't want to punt on day one.
Well, I mess up the schedule. I'm supposed to run on Tuesday and then run again on Thursday and then run again over the weekend. So, and I want to start off on a good note. And I missed my chance to do it this morning when it's cooler. So, do I just take my lumps? Because again, when I run the 5K, it's going to be warm out. If I run the half marathon.
Do you just do it? You're saying, do you just do it when you get home?
No. Do I do it tonight at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night? After I've eaten dinner, after we've had birthday celebrations, do I just...
It's going to... Listen, I don't know if I can sugarcoat this for you. It's going to be miserable when you go and do it at 9:30.
Now, it's a 5-minute walking warm-up. I could do that.
Yeah.
And then it's 1 minute of running and then 1.5 minutes of walking. And then it's a 5-minute walking cool down.
So you only have, in reality, you said it's 24 minutes total?
It is a 25 to 30-minute run, and I have to do the 1 minute of running and the 1.5 minutes of walking.
You have 7 minutes of running. That's it.
I have 6 minutes of running.
6 minutes of running.
6 minutes of running. The rest of it is walking. I think I can do this at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, no problem.
You can sell that to yourself, yeah. I would do it at 9:30, 10 o'clock.
9:30, 10 o'clock, and then I'll report back tomorrow. Because I'm looking at the app also has the weather, and it's 99 degrees outside right now.
It's not bad.
Well, I know, but I can't run right now. We have the second hour of the program. A lot of people counting on my takes here.
Went out and played some golf on was that Sunday?
Did you finally take my advice and play early in the morning?
No, we played 3 o'clock because the price went down.
Yeah, because it's 400 degrees outside and nobody wants to play.
That was not my point here. It was a comfortable temperature.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
It was cheaper to play.
It's cheaper to play. Just a par 3, like 18 holes, mostly par 3s.
That doesn't count.
So, it was pretty easy. Ripped it up.
Hacking it up out there?
Hacking it up.
The Phoenix Suns, we are still waiting our Bradley Beal buyout news. Thought it was going to happen last week. Probably should have happened by now. But then what? What happens after Bradley Beal gets bought out? What happens after the Suns buy out Bradley Beal? They waive and stretch his contract. They find themselves below the second apron. They find themselves below the first apron. And all of a sudden, a whole new world of choices opens up for the Phoenix Suns. They get all these exemptions. Their first round pick isn't bounced around all over the place to the back part of the first round. They're able to aggregate salaries. All these other things. They're right now, as a second apron team, they are watching. Summertime, you're off from school. Did you ever have that moment where you were grounded because you did something you weren't supposed to do, or you didn't do your chores, and you could hear the rest of the neighborhood kids out there playing wiffle ball, playing something, and you couldn't participate? And you just kind of peeked through the window, and you saw everybody having fun, and you're like, darn, I wish I could have fun. That's the Phoenix Suns right now. The Phoenix Suns as an organization are watching everybody else have fun. They're not able to participate. Soon enough, the moment that the Bradley Beal buyout is complete, the door opens and they're able to go have fun. Are they just going to run out and trip and fall on their way out and then have to come right back inside? Or are they just going to slowly understand they've got the whole summer in front of them? They've got a whole bunch of time to go out and play. And they're going to be very deliberate and cautious in their approach. Will there be any moves after Bradley Beal gets bought out? Is Royce O'Neal going to be on the move? Is Nick Richards going to be on the move? Is Grayson Allen going to be on the move? Are they going to keep those guys? Are they going to build their 2025 roster with those guys in mind? Is there a free agency signing? Chris Paul, is he going to be the point guard of this team? Is that rumor just dead? Are we putting that to the side? What is left for the Phoenix Suns? And I'm not asking that question because I'm demanding that they should do a certain thing, that I think they should do a certain thing. I'm not sure what the right approach is once they find themselves with all of these new fancy tools and toys that they'll be able to play with the moment Bradley Beal gets bought out. I'm not sure what they should do. There's an argument. Hey, you've already done a lot. Had a great draft, made a big trade on draft night, traded Kevin Durant, did a lot of stuff. There's value in letting Jordan Ott evaluate this roster, go with the guys that you had, create that chemistry, because there's a lot of moving parts here, and then using these tools next offseason. There is a walk, to continue our running analogy, or a running story from before, walk, jog, run. You can't just immediately go into a dead sprint. You'll tire yourself out. That's why I'm walking later on tonight. So should that be the approach for the Phoenix Suns? I don't know. I don't know what the right thing is to do. Could they add Chris Paul and I would be fine with it? Sure. Could they choose to stand pat and run it with the roster that they have? We think they've had a great offseason. We think they've moved this franchise in the right direction. So how can you be mad? Kevin Durant gone, Bradley Beal gone, a great draft, a more youthful, athletic roster. That, by the way, for those of you out there that care about summer league results, you want to talk about what happened yesterday? You want to talk about the summer league results from last night? We want to talk about that? Or do we want to take what I said yesterday and not read too much into what happens in summer league? What do we want to do? They've had a great offseason. They've set themselves up well. So walk, jog, run would be my default. But we're not going to get this answer. We're not going to know if there's something else in the cards, if there is a trade in the works, if there is a signing in the works, until they put this Bradley Beal chapter behind them. Again, we said this in hour number 1 of the program. I'll repeat it here again for maybe the new listeners who join us in hour number 2. Maybe your lunch break is only for 12 to 12:30 or 12 to 1. We get a 2-hour lunch break here on this program. We just goof around for 2 hours. This team can't actually move forward if they're continuing to look in the rearview mirror. If they're continually looking behind them. They're turning around and they're looking and they see Bradley Beal. Until that is no longer a thing, you can't move forward. You can't move forward with all of the new stuff that you've done already. You can't move forward with any of the new stuff that might be around the corner. So I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know if they feel complete with this roster and they just want to remove Bradley Beal from it and then move forward. They're going to have a free roster spot once they move Bradley Beal. So they could add somebody and not have to play any roster tricks, roster games. So what will they do? Should there be something that they do? Or have they done enough? Can it be like when you finish your SATs, pencils down? Do they still do SATs with the Scantron and do you know how those work? It's been forever.
I mean, when I took it, it was still the Scantron.
Now that's a fantasy football punishment.
That is, so our commissioner sends out like a Google form every year about voting on certain things. Keeper, scoring, anything to change.
The punishment comes up.
And the punishment is always the last thing. SAT was on there this year. Last year, mine was vetoed. A couple of mine have been vetoed through the years.
Is it just take the SATs, or do you have to take the SATs?
You have to get a 1250.
So you have to keep taking it until you get a certain score.
Yeah. That gets expensive. Like, I think it costs to take the SAT.
Yeah. I took both the SAT and the ACT.
I took the ACT once, and I did not do well. I think I did much better on the SAT.
The ACT is the one that removes the writing.
Yes.
I think I did better at the ACT because, again, hold on, I got to turn my board on for this.
I'm a huge nerd.
I love math and numbers, so the ACT very much more designed for me as a person.
Interesting, given what you do. I'm a huge nerd.
Yes, but I never, because my degree's in journalism and mass communication, never could be a writer. Never could do it.
I never thought I was going to be a writer.
Always
even though
yeah.
Like the writing classes and stuff, I was totally.
Oh, no. I like writing.
No, I do too.
I like the idea of writing. I'm just not good at it. I've always been this personality where I'll talk your ear off about sports all day long. Whatever direction you want to go in. And you've literally seen this happen in my office where people from around the building will walk in and 45 minutes goes by and we're still talking about the same topic that we started with. So I loved talking more than the writing. So I was more into the mass communication side than the journalism side of my degree. In fact, we have a saying here right before we walk into the show. We both say to each other, let's go mass communicate. Because that's what we're doing.
That's what we do. It's our job.
So never was the writing guy. So yeah, it was the ACT over the SAT. But you can't put the pencils down if you're the Phoenix Suns and move on until Bradley Beal is gone. Then we can open up this world, this avenue for where a Chris Paul move could happen. A trade could happen. Adding another member to this roster, another young player to this roster could be in the cards. But I think they're going to take the walk, jog, run approach to this newfound cap space, these newfound tools that they're going to have when they dip under both the first and second aprons. I don't think they're going to be a mad dash like a Target opening on Black Friday, everybody trying to get the doorbuster deals. I don't think they're just going to be sprinting in there. It's going to be a walk, a jog, and a run. Speaking of walk, jog, and run, a lot of people have weighed in on my running journey this evening. So John says piece of cake, Chris, that I can do this tonight at 9:30. I'm not worried about actually doing it. I'm just worried about how hot it's going to be. Like that concerns me. Then Brian says, my God, walking for 5 minutes. Is this a training regimen for an 80-year-old? Get out there and run and be an athlete. So I have the one coach in my corner in John who says, dude, you got this, no problem. And then we've got Brian, who's just being the tough coach that's telling me to just man up and do it. I love having both coaches in my corner. That's good. Because there's sometimes I'm going to need the pep talk, and then there's times where you just need to tell me to go out there and do it. So I've got both coaches.
I've always been the guy who's just like, just go tell me to do it. I need somebody to tell me I'm not going to do it, and then I'll do it.
Yeah, I there's sometimes a motivation problem for me that you can tell me to do something, and I'll know that I need to do it, and I still find a way to just.
It's more about proving somebody wrong sometimes.
Fair enough.
Than actually getting it done.
And that's what this running journey is for me. That I'm trying to prove myself wrong. Because I don't think I can do it. So I'm going to go out there and do it. So I'll keep everybody updated on this journey if and when I choose to run this 5K, 10K, half marathon, whatever I.
By the way,
choose to run by the end of the year.
5K, 10K, half marathon choice is like you're going to go from 3 to 13. So vast differences.
Well, a 5K is you said 3.
3.
A 10K is 6, right?
Yes.
We could start at a 5K, do a 5K. We can go to a 10K and do a 10K. Then we can do a half, and then we can do a full. We can. These people that just go out there and just run marathons, I don't understand that. I can't do that. We're going to start probably with a 5K.
I love it.
It was my goal. It was my New Year's resolution this year. One of them was to run a marathon this year.
This year,
I am running out of time.
For the last 3 years, my New Year's resolution has been to read more.
How's that working out for you?
Well, my goal is 6 books on the year, one every 2 months.
Okay, so yeah,
4 books in. I'm on a pretty good clip.
You're on a fine pace.
Yeah,
I'm
a little ahead of schedule.
Are we reading a book this month?
Yeah, we are.
So if we read a book this month, that'll be 5.
Yeah, that'll be 5.
September will be 6 with months to spare.
Exactly.
Oh, you're on a great pace.
I really like where I'm at.
Really enjoy these next 2 books. You have plenty of time. Plenty of time. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, could there be an outfield transformation for the Arizona Diamondbacks? One national reporter thinks it's possible. That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
Breaking Benjamin. And 3 days grace. October 8th at Desert Diamond Arena with special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Breaking Benjamin and 3 days grace, presented by the Big Red Radio.
Hi, welcome to IKEA.
Hey, I'm moving into my dorm soon and I don't know where to start.
You're in the right place. IKEA family members save up to 15% off college essentials to help you feel right at home.
Okay, wow. Maybe you can help me pick my classes too?
Furniture is more my thing.
Fair.
Visit us in-store or online from 7/1 to 8/5 for more details. Offer valid 7/1 to 8/5/25. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary. See store and IKEA-USA.com/ready for college for details. Restrictions apply.
Babe, I thought you were putting together a box of donations for me to drop off at Goodwill.
I am. I'm reliving my rocker days in the process.
That leather jacket hasn't been your style since the 90s?
You're right. I guess it's time to pass it on to someone new.
Don't worry. I still think you're cool. Let's go to Goodwill.
Get a 20% off coupon when you donate one full bag of usable goods by August 31st. Ask your donation attendant for the QR to scan and claim your digital coupon.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. A couple of months ago, the Rangers looked like a real threat. The Orioles were an up-and-coming force, and the Red Sox made a big swing for Alex Bregman. And the Guardians? They were a trendy pick to run the Central. Fast forward to July, and none of them are playing up to their billing. But in baseball, slow starts don't always mean sad endings. Just ask the 2024 Tigers. At the All-Star break, they looked like a team begging for a fire sale, and then they caught fire. 39-26 down the stretch and snuck into the playoffs. Or look at the 2021 Braves, barely above 500 at the break. They got hot, they got healthy, and they raised a banner. Baseball's beauty and its cruelty is that 162 games allows plenty of time to find yourself. So before you count out Boston, Texas, Baltimore, or Cleveland, just remember, October isn't built on April. History says don't shut the door just yet on long shots. Not in this sport, not with this much talent. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. You ever go car shopping and just walk back to your old car and say, you know what? You're not so bad. Maybe a new paint job, maybe fix up those dents and dings. New car prices are going crazy now. Interest rates, prices, everything is up. Maaco can make your current ride look like new. Paint touch-ups, dent repairs, fresh bumper. It's a little like a car makeover is what it is. At Maaco, they make it easy. Come in for a free estimate, and their expert technicians will handle the rest. Quick turnaround, by the way. Real value. That's what Maaco does. And we're keeping our cars longer. So make your current ride feel new again. Before you shell out for something new, make your old look new. With Maaco's national reach and community focus, you're not just getting top-notch service. You're actually getting a partner you can trust. Go to Maaco.com today. You'll find a shop near you and book an appointment. That's Maaco, MAACO.com. And remember, better get Maaco.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060, Chris Schubert back with you here on the program. Appreciate you joining us here today. We spent so much time on this show talking about Eugenio Suarez being on the move, Josh Naylor being on the move, Merrill Kelly and or Zach Gallen being on the move. There has not been a lot of attention paid to the outfield position for the Arizona Diamondbacks? Well, one insider, one national reporter who's been doing this a really long time, John Heyman from MLB Network and New York Post, has said that there's some names being added to this list because John Heyman is reporting that the Diamondbacks are listening to trade offers on some of their outfielders. John Heyman mentioned Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Alec Thomas, Jake McCarthy, and Randall Grichuk. So basically, anybody not named Corbin Carroll in that outfield, the Diamondbacks are willing to listen on. And that's the key part of this. Not that they're shopping these guys, not that they're talking to teams and offering those guys up. They're listening. It means teams are calling them about Lourdes Gurriel, about Alec Thomas, about Jake McCarthy, about Randall Grichuk. And what do we say here on this program about when the phone rings? When somebody calls you,
you answer.
You answer the phone. That's exactly what Mike Hazen is doing. This doesn't mean any of these guys are going anywhere. It doesn't mean that they're more likely to get moved than the other names that we've been talking about. It's just another wrinkle to be added. And this again shows that the Diamondbacks are doing the right thing, and they're listening on anybody not named Corbin Carroll, anybody not named Ketel Marte, anybody not named Geraldo Perdomo, anybody not named Gabby Moreno. I mean, these are the players that you don't take the phone calls on. But anybody else, I'd listen. I'll listen if you want to talk about Josh Naylor. I'll listen if you want to talk about Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and that big contract. Imagine freeing yourself up of that money ahead of a year where we know that the money's going to be different. They're going to have less money available to them this offseason to spend. So Lourdes Gurriel, Alec Thomas, Jake McCarthy, Randall Grichuk, add those names to the list. And again, this shows not everybody's going to need the big bat. Not everybody's going to need the big arm. There are teams out there that may want the fourth outfielder, that may want a defense speed guy to add to their bench. Not everybody is looking for that big, huge home run piece. So I like this news. It shows me that they are willing to listen on just about everybody, all of the places that they should be listening on, but it does not mean that they are going to move any of these guys. It just means that they are going to listen on these guys. And you have players that are under team control, right? Lourdes Gurriel's got a couple years left on his contract. Alec Thomas and Jake McCarthy are young, cost-controlled players. That's going to be attractive. That also may require a bigger haul because you're gaining multiple years of control. Whereas Josh Naylor's a free agent at the end of the year. Gino Suarez is a free agent at the end of the year. And so the Diamondbacks, what this is doing is it is positioning the Diamondbacks. I asked this question honestly, producer Evan. Is there a part of the market that the Diamondbacks don't have cornered? Is there a part of the market where after this news that they're listening on these outfielders that maybe relief now that Shelby Miller is hurt? That's the one area where they
say,
can't.
now that Shelby Miller's gone, you would say top relievers. You know, they can't help you there. But everywhere else, starting pitching, right-handed power bat,
they got it.
Left-handed power bat,
they got it.
Like where else do you turn? Like, you want to get real niche? They're not going to trade you a catcher.
Right. You're not. Yeah. If you're looking to upgrade your catching position, the Diamondbacks are not going to do that.
But other than that, I mean, they have an option all across the diamond for you.
And these outfielders are different types of outfielders, right? Randall Grichuk is a platoon bench defensive replacement. Jake McCarthy, left-handed bat, has some pop, could probably play every day in the right scenario. Alec Thomas, speed, defense, could also be an everyday player, has been an everyday player for this team. Lourdes Gurriel, power-hitting bat that you can make a DH if you're looking to upgrade your DH. You miss on Suarez, you miss on Naylor. All right, Lourdes Gurriel, not too shabby. So it doesn't matter what you are looking for at the deadline. There's a pretty good chance that the Diamondbacks have it. There's a pretty good chance that they have a piece that could help your team. And this is why we said for the longest time The Diamondbacks needed to firmly be in one camp or the other, firmly be a buyer or firmly be a seller, because you didn't want this moment to pass and them not be able to do anything. Because if they ever got to the place to sell, which is where they are right now, they have a lot of pieces to offer up. They have a lot of things to move, a lot of players that are going to be enticing on different levels. You're not, hot take, you're not going to get a top 100 prospect for Randall Grichuk. You're not going to get a top 100 prospect, more than likely, for Lourdes Gurriel. But are you going to be able to, if you put it all together, have a roster or have a haul that makes you a better baseball team in the future and gives you a chance to compete in 26 and 27? Again, that is what I think meeting the moment is going to look like for Mike Hazen, and I think that is in front of them. First step is admitting what they are. They are a seller. The second step is prioritizing the players that are going to maximize your return. Those are obviously those top guys. Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez, the pitchers. But don't lose sight of those under-the-radar moves that, let's say your scouting department just finds somebody in another system and they say, man, we think this is a diamond in the rough. We can trade Randall Grichuk and ask for this prospect, and we think they're going to do it because they're not going to know any better. And if you can hit on one or two of those as well, we're going to look back at this moment as not a disappointment, but as where they pivoted correctly, and they set themselves up for the future. So add some names to the list. And I did read a story this morning in The Athletic that the expectation is that this is going to be a very slow-moving deadline because you have so many teams that still think they're in it. And that some teams that might ultimately sell by the time July 31st rolls around, right now you would consider them buyers. Just a lot of teams still think they're in it with 16 days to go until the deadline. And so until those teams are kind of nudged into that camp one way or the other, it just feels like everything's going to kind of slow crawl.
It just feels like there's more buyers this year than ever. It's a buyer's market.
Well, this has been the growing trend since the addition of the third wildcard team.
Yeah.
And it just, that extra playoff spot is just an extra place that you're within striking distance of. And so you can look at your team and say, am I really going to sell when I'm 3.5 back at the last spot? Yeah, it's the last spot. And yeah, my team probably doesn't stand that much of a chance if I get in, but it's 3.5 games. It's one good series, and I'm within a half game or a game. Like, it's hard to give up on a season when you're that close. It's easy to give up when you're the Pittsburgh Pirates and you're 25 games out. You're the Chicago White Sox, you're 400 games out. It's easy to just decide, hey, we're going to be sellers. It's hard to take that truth serum, look at your roster objectively, and say, no, we're not actually a buyer. Even though we're close, even though we're within striking distance, I know this roster, we're not that close. The Diamondbacks are going through that process right now. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, CBS Sports yesterday put out their ranking of all 32 coaches in the National Football League. We're going to react to this list because it has me angry. We'll do it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
When life gets overwhelming, but you just don't feel like talking, help is only a text away. Trained and caring crisis specialists are available by text 24/7 to assist with suicidal thoughts, substance use issues, depression, anxiety, and more. You are never alone. When you need help, please text HOPE to 4HOPE. From anywhere in Arizona, text the word HOPE to 44673. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Phoenix. Footprint Center, Saturday, August 2nd. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. It's about to get heavy. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Get more summer for your dollar with 4 slams for under $10 each at Denny's, like the new Red, White, and Berry Everyday Value Slam. It's summer on a plate with blueberry stuffed pancakes topped with strawberries, and for under $10. Valid at participating locations. Limited time offer. Additional restrictions and surcharges may apply at some locations.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
If you don't have gas in your home, but something doesn't smell good.
Ew, what's that smell?
If it smells like rotten eggs, there could be a leak in your neighborhood.
Now what do I do?
If you suspect a leak, move fast, call 911 and Southwest Gas.
But I don't have natural gas in my home.
Gas lines are buried all around, so even if you don't have gas.
I know, call 911 and Southwest Gas. Hi, Luis Gonzalez here. Want to bet? Feel the thrill of Casino Arizona with 1,400 of the hottest slots and nonstop table game action. We make winners, no experience necessary. Join us for the best bingo in the valley with daily sessions. Indulge in all-you-can-eat Eagles Buffet or enjoying fine dining experience at the award-winning Choyo Steakhouse. Enjoy top-notch local entertainment, tribute bands, and viewing parties at CAZ Sports Bar, just off the 101 in McKellips. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona.
If you know, you go. At Superstar Car Wash, we're proud to have over 550,000 members. Be in the know and try what everyone loves today. Text SuperAZ to 27800 to get a free Super Protect car wash. Terms and conditions apply.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The headline from a CBS Sports article written yesterday. 2025 NFL head coach rankings. Eagles Nick Sirianni, Lions Dan Campbell make leaps behind Chiefs Andy Reid. Now, I asked producer Evan to stay in the dark on this story.
Yeah, you yelled at me when I went to click on it.
I said, do not click on the story. Now, they put these coaches into tiers. 3 tiers in particular. Tier 3, the unproven or underwhelming tier. Let me scroll back and see what the other tiers were so we have them correctly. Tier 2, the serviceable veterans tier. And then you have your tier 1 coaches, which are viewed as the cream of the crop. So, producer Evan, with that in mind, tier 1, the cream of the crop. Tier 2, serviceable veterans. Tier 3, unproven or underwhelming. Where do you think Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon ended up?
Tier 3.
You think Jonathan Gannon, is that where you would put him, or that's where you think the list put him?
Okay, it's interesting. And here's why I think it's interesting. The groups aren't exactly favorable for Jonathan Gannon.
True.
When you look at the tiers, he's not the cream of the crop. I wouldn't call him that yet.
I wouldn't call him a serviceable veteran.
And he's not a veteran. So he's still unproven.
So here's what the blurb underneath unproven or underwhelming says. As long as these coaches are employed, they have a chance to redeem themselves. As we stand, however, they've either yet to prove their staying power or struggled to build a promising program. So with that in mind, with those sentences in your brain, they had Jonathan Gannon of your Arizona Cardinals as the 25th ranked coach. in the NFL ahead of the 2025 season. He hasn't shown that he has staying power. He hasn't built a promising program. He's done both of those things, in my opinion. Jonathan Gannon isn't on the hot seat this year. People are excited about the Arizona Cardinals. Why? Because of Jonathan Gannon. 25th. Now, that's up 2 spots from where he was when they did this list last year. But I'm sorry, Ben Johnson is in front of him on this list at 24. Dave Canales is in front of him at 23. Shane Steichen is in front of him at 22. Mike McDonald is in front of him at 21. Those are the rest of this tier of coach. I would take Jonathan Gannon over all of those coaches. So, worst case scenario, I think Jonathan Gannon should be the 21st ranked coach. But okay, let's go into tier 2. Let's dive in there and see. Ask yourself this question. JG or the coach that I named? Would you rather have Jonathan Gannon or Mike McDaniel?
Jonathan Gannon.
Would you rather have Jonathan Gannon or Todd Bowles?
Todd Bowles.
Would you rather have Jonathan Gannon or Zach Taylor?
Jonathan Gannon.
Would you rather have Jonathan Gannon or Pete Carroll? Not the Pete Carroll of 10 years ago, the Pete Carroll right now. It's JG for me. It's not even close. I think that's going to be an absolute mess in Vegas.
Give me Gannon. Let's see it in Vegas. Let's see it in Vegas. I don't know if it's going to be a mess, but let's see it in Vegas.
So
but give me Gannon as it stands today.
So Carroll, Taylor, McDaniel. We would put him in front of all of those coaches.
Yeah, I actually, and I think it's disrespectful that Todd Bowles was in that conversation.
Agreed 100%. Kevin Stefanski's all the way up at 13 on this list.
2-time coach of the year.
Career record of 40-44.
These Cleveland Browns.
Playoff record 1-2.
Yeah, they beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
Jonathan Gannon, criminally underappreciated in this list.
No, I agree. He is too low.
The tiers make this difficult.
The tiers are so built for not somebody who is a 2 to 3 year head coach. When Jonathan Gannon took over as the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, it was a complete rebrand and rebuild.
Think about where this franchise was when JG and Monty got here, and now look at where they are. Look at how we talk about this team. You're telling me that's good to only being the 25th best coach? You're only up 2 spots from where you were a year ago. This team was playing meaningful football on the tail end of the season. You don't think Jonathan Gannon had anything to do with that? Again, the tiers make it difficult, but he's at least 21, and I put him in front of Mike McDaniel. That makes him 20. I put him in front of Zach Taylor. That makes him 19. I put him in front of Pete Carroll. That makes him 17. I moved him up 8 spots at least.
Pete Carroll, I will have a hard time jumping on board with fully. Just let me see what it looks like in Vegas, because I'll give Pete Carroll credit. He reinvented what they do in Seattle a few times. They went from the Legion of Boom to then they couldn't stop anybody and they were going to have to outscore you.
Yep.
So, and he reinvented those teams, and both playoff teams. Obviously, the Legion of Boom went to 2 Super Bowls, 1-1. But I've seen it with Pete Carroll.
The tier 1 coaches, I'll just read them in order here. Sean McDermott, 12. Sean Payton, 11. Mike Tomlin, 10. Kevin O'Connell, 9. Matt LaFleur, 8. Kyle Shanahan, 7. Jim Harbaugh, 6. Dan Campbell, 5. Nick Sirianni, 4. John Harbaugh, 3. Sean McVay, 2. Andy Reid, number 1.
Yeah, it's a good list.
Not too many complaints there in the top 12. I am glad that the rest of the NFL and NFL media is starting to come to terms with Sean McDermott's not that good of a head coach.
I was going to say he's too high.
He was 9 last year. They moved him down to 12 in this list this year.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell should be in the top 4.
Kevin O'Connell being 9 does feel like it's. I would take him over LaFleur.
I would too. Not even a question.
They're both really good.
I like LaFleur. Kevin O'Connell, man.
Oh, special.
I mean, they do things in that offense that just excites me. Where was Mike McDaniel?
Mike McDaniel was 20. He was the top. It was the last name in the tier 2.
Okay.
So 20.
When that offense is rolling, they're fun to watch, but
Yeah, but it's not always rolling.
I know. That's the problem.
There's a lot of chaos around that team. And to me, it's not a surprise that look at the top teams, right? Kansas City, Andy Reid. There's not a lot of drama around that team, right?
No.
McVay with the Rams. Is there a lot of drama around that team?
No.
John Harbaugh with the Ravens.
Never.
Now, Sirianni with the Eagles at 4, there has been some drama. Not his fault.
The question, it's so funny. Like, the drama of the Eagles is how much of it is actually from the locker room and how much of it is from the media talking about the locker room.
Correct. And that's why there is drama, but not all his fault. Dan Campbell in Detroit. There's no drama there. Harbaugh with the Chargers. In fact, Harbaugh was brought there to get rid of the outside noise, to get rid of the chaos. Did a great job. Kyle Shanahan, San Francisco. We're starting to get to drama.
There's a little drama
Drama
there.
is building there, and that's why last year he was 3 on this list, and he's moved down to 7. LaFleur at 8, like we mentioned, Kevin O'Connell at 9, up from 12 last year, so it's moving up. But yeah, I saw this list this morning, and I saw that they had JG at 25, and I almost punched the computer monitor. Jonathan Gannon is only the 20. You're picking all these coaches. You would pick 24 other coaches before you would pick JG to coach your team?
Is there any first-year coach you would take?
Is there any first-year coach that I would take over Jonathan Gannon? Would I take Brian Schottenheimer? No. Would I take Kellen Moore? No. Would I take Aaron Glenn? No. I would certainly not take Liam Cohn, and I wish I had my Duval drop on my board to be able to play it right now. Maybe I have not shared this take yet on this program, so I'll do it now. I'm not sure Ben Johnson's going to be a good head coach. So I would not take Ben Johnson either in front of JG. I would take JG before all of the new head coaches going into this upcoming season.
The only one I would take is Ben Johnson.
He's the only one that I think you should consider. I don't think that's going to work. It's just a hunch. It's just a guess that now needing to oversee the whole thing while also needing to bring along a young quarterback, I worry a little bit about how
A couple things that I think they need to do there that are going to be pivotal to how they run their offense. They need a better running game.
Yeah, they can't put it all on Caleb. If they put it all on Caleb, I think that's where the worst tendencies of Caleb come out, and he tries to play hero ball, and he makes those silly mistakes.
And what they also need to do is early in the game, they need to get slants, mesh concepts.
Well,
get the ball out quick. You need him to fall into a rhythm. And so we'll see. I need quick hitters for them early. Try and get.
Well, why do you think they drafted who they drafted?
Yeah.
Drafted a tight end. Drafted a wide receiver in Roma Dunze a year ago. So trying to invest in that side of the ball. We got one more for you before we are out of here on a Tuesday. I almost said Monday. Tuesday edition of the program. It is the leftovers. All the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program, we'll do them next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Hey listeners, it's Vince DeLisio with the Varsity Sports Show. Saturday, we kick off our fall sports preview as we'll be out at Queen Creek High School. You'll meet Bulldogs principal Scott Lovely, then chat with coaches from football, volleyball, pom and cheer, flag, swimming, golf, strength and conditioning, cross-country, badminton, and more. The Varsity Sports Show, Saturday morning, 9 to 11 on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
The Mazda More to Move You sales event is going on now at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, receive 1.9% financing for up to 60 months on the brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 or CX-50 Hybrid.
Or receive $10,000 off the top of MSRP when you lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-70 or CX-90 plug-in hybrid. Think of how low your payment will be with those savings. Go to markmazdascottsdale.com.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda on approved credit plus $998 fee.
Nitro Circus is back with the all-new Off the Rails Tour. World-class daredevils and FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and more. Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, and never-been-done showdowns. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
At the UPS Store, we ensure your small biz stands out with a variety of high-quality paper stock options, banners, posters, brochures, and more. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today and get your print on.
Did you catch Luisito's header?
Yeah, I just recorded it on my new Samsung A36 5G phone I got for free at Total Wireless.
Oh, I'm actually live streaming the whole match with my new Samsung Tab A9 that I also got free at Total Wireless.
I got that tablet too.
And I got that phone too. We both got both.
Switch to Total Wireless and get both the Samsung A36 5G and the Samsung Tab A9 for free. For a limited time while supplies last, valid in store. Requires new phone activation on the Total 5G Unlimited plan or higher external port and ID verification and new activation on the Total 5G Unlimited 6-month tablet plan. Restrictions apply.
HomeU is at home, watching the great outdoors on TV.
For the lone gazelle, there sadly is no escape.
RoadU always has an escape in an RV covered with Geico's added 24/7 emergency roadside service. For more RoadU time, get more with Geico.
Hey, Tempe, your new Sam's Club is opening soon.
I love the savings that Sam's Club has to offer.
It makes it easy to feed a family of 5.
That gas pump there is amazing.
The scan and go option just sets Sam's Club apart.
Today's the day to join the club. Your club, Sam's Club.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back to wrap up today's edition of the program. Appreciate you joining us. So lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Jim Rome's coming up at the top of the hour. It is all the stories that we didn't get to during the program. We get to them now. It's the leftovers. And the stories come from producer Evan. So take it away, my friend.
Starting off in the National Football League, 2 stories, kind of one jumbled up into one, or 2 jumbled up into one, and then another one. Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson get their extensions with the New York Jets. Looks like they're going to be there for the foreseeable future.
Yes, Sauce signing his deal today, reported by Sauce. Like, he tweeted it out that he signed this new deal with the Jets. He is now the highest paid corner in football. Derek Stingley Jr. was the highest paid corner. He had an annual average value on his deal of $30 million. On Sauce's new deal, his AAV, $30.1 million. So if you don't think that players care about that stuff, if you don't think agents care about that stuff, there's your proof that they do care about that stuff.
You think the agents care more than the players?
I think both sides care. That is how players keep score, how much money you make, being the highest paid player at your position at some point. That's how you can say, hey, I was the best at one point. And for agents, you want to have this business forever, right? You're going to be representing players long after that player's career is more than likely done, right? So when the next corner rolls around that you represent, you want to have that bar to clear. So yeah, this matters for everybody. They all care about it. And then Garrett Wilson signed his deal yesterday, making him one of the highest paid receivers in all of football. He's getting $30+ million.
I love Garrett Wilson. I think he is a stud.
How could you not love a guy who has just been a walking 1,000-yard season with you and I throwing him the football?
It's insane.
Go look at the quarterbacks that have thrown footballs to Garrett Wilson in his career, and then look at the stats that he's put up. And now wonder, in a better offensive system with Justin Fields, you start to get very excited about what his numbers could look like with some competent quarterback play.
Speaking of receivers and getting competent quarterbacks, Terry McLaurin got a competent quarterback, but is frustrated with the lack of contract extension talks. What do we think? Could this lead to him getting moved? Do you think they get it done? And then on top of all of that, is it something the Cardinals could be interested in?
I see what you're doing there. You just want to get us back to talking about a wide receiver 2 for this team. I see what you're doing there. I've given up on that dream. I'm not walking back through that door and believing that they're going to add a wide receiver 2. I'm not doing it. I carried that baton all offseason. I'm tired. Okay. I can't do it anymore. I need to rest. I think they'll get something done. I have learned in the years of doing this, in the years of covering the NFL in particular, that it's easy to, in the moment somebody is a holdout, or the moment you hear that there is a a disagreement in these contract talks, your immediate thought is, oh my God, they're going to get traded. 5 landing spots for Terry McLaurin. That's where your immediate rush to judgment is. Most of the time, these things settle themselves. Last offseason, to pair the two stories that we're talking about here together, nobody thought Garrett Wilson would still be on the New York Jets going into this season. You find a way to come together, to put your differences aside, and come up with a deal. So I will wait until we get closer to the season before I would officially turn up the panic meter on Terry McLaurin playing elsewhere next season.
MLB and the commissioner, story came out today that they are considering having players play in the Olympics in 2028 when it is in Los Angeles.
So they're going to allow players to play in the 2028 Summer Olympics. And they're going to have to. So, okay.
You're going to have to take an NHL-style break.
But that's fine. Here's why. That's why I paused. The new CBA will be in effect by then. They'll write it in. They'll write in the break to the CBA. You wonder how are they going to be able to do that right now, because then they have to come to the table and they have to agree. CBA is up after next season, going into the 2027 season. So if we get to that point, because we may lose the 2027 season over this CBA negotiation because the owners and the league want a salary cap, they'll write it in, the Olympics, the participation, and how they would structure the break when those things happen, when the Olympics come up. And I wonder if there would be a push to move the World Baseball Classic to that. And on years where you're not playing in the Olympics, that break is then the World Baseball Classic, a la what the NHL did with the Four Nations.
Yes.
That's too smart of an idea, so they won't do it, but
I was wondering, what does that mean for the World Baseball Classic?
It doesn't mean anything for the World Baseball Classic. The World Baseball Classic will be what the Four Nations is to the NHL, and the World Cup and the Olympics are still a big deal because the NHL is trying to make a World Cup happen. And the Olympics are still a big deal to the NHL and to the players, and the players go play and they have it written in. They have that break when the Olympics are going on, and MLB will just do something similar.
Yeah.
That's what this will be.
I think baseball in the Olympics with the best players is going to be extremely fun.
Yes, I would agree with that.
ESPN wrote a story this morning taking the 25 best teams since 2000 in football. Sorry.
Best team since... Oh, I saw this story. I didn't click on it, but I saw this story.
Do you have any guesses on who might be at the top here?
The greatest teams of the 2000s?
Yeah, I don't hate the list, honestly. I thought I would have more disagreements with it, but I don't hate the list. I was surprised at number 6. That was my first big surprise. The
almost undefeated New England Patriot team.
Are number 1. Yeah, the 2007 Patriots are number 1, deservingly so. They, as far as the league, they give you like where they were in percentiles of offense and defense. 99th in offense, 94 in defense. Insane. Number 2 is actually the 2013 Seahawks, the team that destroyed the Broncos in the Super Bowl. And it's not a team I initially thought of, but man, that Legion of Boom was something.
They were really talented as a defense. They were really talented as a group overall. That was peak Russell Wilson. They got the coaching right. Just everything about that team worked correctly. Is there a Chiefs team on this list?
I'm on the list. Yes. High, not really.
Interesting. I thought they would pick one of the Mahomes teams.
The first Mahomes team doesn't appear till 9.
Is there a Rodgers-Packers team on here?
There's a Rodgers-Packers team at 8.
Try to think of like, there's got to be a Peyton Manning Colts team on here.
Not in the top 10.
Really?
Not in the not in the top 10. You see your first Peyton Colts team at 12.
Is there a Drew Brees Saints team?
No Drew Brees Saints team.
Wow.
I don't think on the whole list, actually.
That feels
no,
like...
sorry. 15, the 2009 Saints.
This is the 2000s, right? I get to go all the way back to 2000. I'm trying to think, is there another Patriots team?
There's 3 Patriots teams in the top 10.
So what happens when you win all those championships?
So 3 is the 2004 Patriots, the one that beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl, won back-to-back. It's their third in 4 or 5 years. That is 3. 4, two teams from the same organization back to back.
4 and 5?
4 and 5
are two teams from the same organization.
Yeah.
I'm completely blanking on them.
Both in the last few years. Well, one very recent, the last one, less than a decade ago.
In Eagles?
Yeah. 4 and 5. 2024 is 4. 5 is 2017. 6 was the one I was surprised about. 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Wow, they put that Bucs team on there. Yeah, okay, that makes some sense. That is going to do it for us here on the Tuesday edition of the program. Jim Rome, he's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy the All-Star game. See ya!